The enforcement of the General Data Protection Regulation by the supervisory authorities is often a lengthy process. Too lengthy, states the European Commission, particularly in instances involving multiple countries. Hence, one would like to reduce this processing time. More about it in today's video. The duration of the enforcement of the General Data Protection Regulation is often very long. Particularly in cross-border situations, this is an issue, at least as indicated by the European Data Protection Board. The European Commission has now taken up this criticism and has submitted a legislative proposal to standardize the implementation of these procedures more strongly and to significantly accelerate them, especially in cross-border cases. What are the key elements of this proposal, which is now going through the further stages of the European legislative process? Initially, one desires to implement fixed deadlines for the processing of complaints and procedures as a priority. In addition, a kind of standard complaint process is to be established, which must be processed in a very specific form. The complaints will be assessed based on 3 standardized categories, with a particular focus on evaluation. On the one hand, the severity of the violation, then the legality of the remedy, and the systematic nature of data protection networking. To enhance the structure of cooperation between authorities, the primary authority in cross-border cases should also have an obligation to regularly furnish the other authorities with information regarding the status of the procedure. If there is no agreement among the participating authorities on how the procedure should be carried out in the subsequent stages of the proceedings, the European Data Protection Board should have the ability to decisively determine how the lead authority should deal with the case. When 2 people quarrel, the third person rejoices and thus comes to the conclusion that the General Data Protection Regulation, as well intended as it may have been, reaches its limits in terms of enforcement, as we can observe in the comparison between European and international contexts. The European legislator, in this case, the European Commission, is currently attempting to address this situation by now presenting a legislative proposal in order to further harmonize the enforcement of the General Data Protection Regulation within the European Union. In simple terms, this means more power should be centralized, away from national authority, in case of doubt to European Data Protection Board, which should then have authority to make binding decisions on procedure. At present, it is yet to be determined what kind of response this legislative proposal will elicit during the forthcoming process that lies ahead in the future. From a European perspective, it would be desirable if the General Data Protection Regulation, as a European regulatory framework, were uniformly enforced throughout Europe. What else happened in data protection? Norway bans personalized advertising on Facebook. Link in the description. Have fun reading the picture.